Welcome to the Big Fish Contracting Podcast. We are so glad to have you back. Along with me, Eric, Tanya.
Hello.
Everybody remembers Tanya. How you doing, Tanya?
Doing great.
Yeah, we have a guest.
We do have a guest.
Yes.
Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm the sales remodeling consultant for Big Fish Contracting. That's my introduction, I guess.
He's also a big CrossFit guy.
Really big CrossFit guy.
No, I'm
We were
not.
talking about it. Top 150.
I just like working out.
He likes to work out.
Yeah,
does
he
not
does.
identify as a CrossFitter, but does CrossFit like
I do one CrossFit thing.
He's a big CrossFitter. Either way,
Works out.
We're happy to have him. So if you have any remodeling or design questions, kitchens, baths, or CrossFit, we
Kevin's
do
your
have
guy.
a resident professional. How are we making you feel? Good?
Good,
Welcome?
yeah,
Okay. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Kevin?
So I went to school in Whitewater, 2005 to 2009. Actually went to school for sociology, criminal justice. Wanted to be a cop my whole life. My dad was a cop, so that's what I wanted to do. Got into that after college. Did that for a couple of years. And then eventually just wanted to get out of that field and then moved into the construction field. I enjoyed the variety that law enforcement offered, so I felt like that fit my personality. I can't sit behind a desk and just stare at a computer screen all day, so I didn't want to be a lawyer. So I went into the construction industry, and it fit really well. I had a lot of success there. Did commercial framing, residential framing for about 4 years, and then an opportunity came up to go into sales for remodeling. So I took that opportunity, and I felt like that position really took my experience as a police officer and my construction knowledge and kind of married the two together, and it's helped me be rather successful. So being able to communicate with people is easier than people think, but maybe it's just easy for me. But I enjoy helping people transform their home, transform what they don't like about their home into something that they're proud of. So I enjoy that. And that's been with a couple of different firms in the Milwaukee area, and just recently joined Big Fish after about a year of trying to get connected with Eric here. He's kind of elusive sometimes, but
the ever-elusive Eric there.
I felt like that was always a test of people when you're trying to get into a firm is if you can't sell yourself, then you're never going to be able to be successful there. So maybe that was a ploy.
It wasn't.
No.
Although
you can use it in the future, though.
I like it. Right. We were at the time. I'm always interested in talking to people, but I think about a year ago was when you start, and then we were just busy, and then put it on the back burner. And at the time, we weren't actively looking, but it's funny now how it, looking back, I'm like, oh. Had I actually taken the time to have, because he's amazing, but it just took time. But I'm proud of that process because it is kind of more, it's very organic. Exactly.
Super organic. I think that's what's great about Kevin, because he just kind of came right in. It feels like he's been here forever.
It does, yeah. And when we have a close team, right?
We have a super close team.
And it was like a round peg in a round hole.
Just to fit right in. We're really, really lucky that he's on board.
When Kevin came.
I think one of our biggest things is relationships and how we interact with one another, and then how we interact with all of the clients. And I think Kevin is perfect for that. I mean, we all get along with him really well inside the team, and his relationships with customers have been going extremely well.
Yes. Knowledgeable, organized.
Super organized, super detailed.
Disciplined.
Yes.
You have to be when you do CrossFit.
That's a key component to CrossFit.
Shout out to CrossFit again. I love it. Gosh.
Check them reps off, right?
Right.
Another 10. Here we go.
There we go.
I'm into golf fit. That's
That's
a new thing. Just golfing. that's it for exercise, which doesn't seem like a lot, but well, it's really not.
Well, your
You could
kids
start
can steps
walking
in.
instead.
Yeah, do
I
you
am
walk
going
or
to.
ride?
I ride, but I am going to start walking. I even got a new bag with a backpack, so and I'm gonna actually go out early, so I can just bust out a quick 9 or 18, and then I'll probably be home by like 9 o'clock and be ready to work. I would never previously had thought about that, but I'm enjoying golf so much that I'm actually just more about the game now than even the social aspect of golf. It's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, that's good.
You just turned 50?
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
this what 50-year-olds do?
It is an old man state.
It's
Did-
not
and
an old
bird
man
watching?
statement.
No.
I love golf.
Yeah, well, I want to go with you.
Well, then you might realize that you need to start working out more.
Oh, because you're that good.
No, I'm not that
Oh,
good.
do you run?
He runs in between the
You
holes.
run?
Yeah,
Sprints.
I'm like Mark Wahlberg. I
Dude,
shoot
I
18
saw
in
in
an hour and a
and
half.
5 minutes.
Give me a break.
I saw that. I did
Hour
not.
and 5 minutes?
Yes,
He's
and
so
then he
full of it.
No way. Exactly. Like you can't even
3
play
minutes a hole.
simulator. You can't even play simulator.
barely
golf
do a
in
simulator
an hour
golf
in
in an
5
hour and a
minutes
half.
because I've tried. But I do like Mark Wahlberg and all the stuff you've done. But that one I'd have to
In case
see.
Mark, you're listening.
Yeah.
We're big
you
fans.
never know. It gets out there.
It does.
Yeah.
It could.
Yeah.
Mark needs to work on his pull-ups.
Oh God.
Oh my,
that
now
was
we're
bad.
talking
Those are
his
fighting
pull-ups.
words.
Does he need more CrossFit? Is that the problem? It's
No,
not
he
good.
doesn't. He works out more than anybody else.
Yeah, okay. This guy loves Mark Wahlberg. Well,
Anyways.
what's the question? We got a question of the week, Tanya. What is that there? My eyes aren't as good as what they
What
used
is
to
your
be thinking.
favorite part of the renovation process?
To me,
Yeah.
I would say it's demo day because there's nothing better than finally kicking that project off and removing what you don't like in the house more than anything. And my background is framing, so that's what I like the most. So I like being able to see the framing of the house.
The bones.
Yeah, the structure, how was that put together? Why was that there? So that's probably my favorite part. And who doesn't like to, TV has made it a little dramatic with the demo days and the T-shirts of demo day, and I mean, but it's fun. Demo's a little different than what people have seen on TV, but it's still fun. If
There's
they want
some
to
of
break
it-
it, if
some
they
of the
want to
elements-
break it, they can break.
If you want to
things,
grab
yeah.
a sledgehammer,
Exactly.
that would be
Yeah,
the time.
Exactly. Yeah. You
Yeah,
want to
there is
smash
some
that cabinet? Go for it.
methodicalness of a demo day. It's
Yeah.
not just, I'm going to take my cabinets out. And I mean, there really is a procedure to
Yes,
it.
there
Unlike
is.
TV shows maybe
Yeah.
describe.
And what the TV shows never understand or show are all the preparations for the demo day. You really have to do a good job of prepping that site, making sure that we have good dust control, good site protection. Because there's
dust
not
can be-
necessarily things that we are removing, so you want to be able to have that protection that's in there too. So,
Yeah.
but it kicks off the project, and usually that's when people's excitement is at the highest because they've gone through the sales process, gone through design, written their checks, and now we're ready to finally start. So
Yeah, and
It's
demo
super
is
exciting.
relatively fast too, and it's cool because you get a lot done in a small amount of time. But there are key things like removing a wall, and then you really
the space
begin to
opens
see that
and-
space
Yeah.
for what it will be, and it's like a day or two.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, Kevin, why don't you tell us a little bit about the sales process? If a customer calls and you schedule an appointment with them, what does that look like?
Yeah, so if someone is interested in doing a remodeling project, first, more importantly, is just to have a conversation. Talk about what their ideas are for the project, what their pain points are, trying to get a full understanding of where they've been, what experience they have in remodeling or building a home, trying to understand what their budget is, because everyone, no matter what, they always have a wish list and then they have a budget list. So we got to try and marry those two together. And that's what I try and tell people that up front is say, you're going to have a list of things that you want to get done, but then you also have a budget. So we have to figure out what is going to give you the best bang for your buck. After that, then we will set up a time for me to come out and take a look at the space, because they might have some ideas of what they want to do, but they might not have a clear direction. So understanding how their house flows, how it's set up, what's in their house, do they have 7 dogs or do they have 5 kids? So trying to understand what their day-to-day looks like. And a lot of times I try and talk people into, remember, you're using your house 300 days out of the year are your day-to-day, Monday through Friday, going through the monotony of going to school, getting kids out, or summertime where they're home and trying to, so don't worry so much about, I need this big gathering space. Are you throwing parties every other day? Probably not. So maybe you don't need that big of a space to gather, but I understand if you want that as part of your design. So just talking through what they're going through, understanding where they're coming from a design aspect, helps me design their project better than just listening to their ideas and putting it on paper. After that, then we usually will come back together after a preliminary design is put together, and I marry that with a preliminary budget range. So budgets aren't set, allowances are always kind of just put in there. So that's why I do a budget range, so that people can see what it might go to, because I haven't had trades look at it. After they agree to work with Big Fish Contracting, they do put some money down, and then we'll bring in the trades and we'll start that selection process. So I'm doing a lot of things on the front end before they're even signing a contract. And I think that's one of the most important things in a remodeling process that people don't understand is the more time you spend up front before we go start swinging a hammer, the better your project is going to go. I think you can kind of speak for that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're doing Eric's house right now, and the design wasn't 100%, and there's a lot of changes that are happening. It's causing the project to go on a little bit longer than what maybe you ideally wanted it. So if you followed that process, we can consolidate those selections and have all those materials ordered and the trades that we need scheduled, ready to go, so that construction is faster and more streamlined.
Yes. I would agree 100%. Obviously, as he said, we've said this before, we're doing a large remodel at our home. And I will say one thing about us at Big Fish, we are pretty good at winging it. However, if the most important thing that I would do differently, but it would be to plan a little bit more thoroughly than we did. But that was just us, not the experience with Big Fish.
Yeah.
Because what we learn is that no matter what or how detailed the plans are in most remodels, we're going to find
something
right
that changes,
some surprises that we don't know. And so to try to be as thorough on the front end for the things that we do know is important, because it just eliminates all those things.
Yeah.
When we already know we're going to find surprises. So
yeah, I mean, and that is the nature of remodeling. It never goes exactly to plan. It's not a new home. Even new homes, there are changes that happen when you're building it or constructing it. But a remodel, there's always potentially unforeseen items that you have. But that's one of that main processes that I do, is bring in the trades that are going to be working on your project to look at everything. Really eliminates a lot of those change orders. So I'm not Joanna Gaines at minute 35 of the 42-minute episode calling the customer saying, I need an extra 5, 10, 15 grand because of XYZ. I didn't know that this was load-bearing wall. I mean, that's why we bring in our carpenters, our salespeople from our lumber yards. We can get a much better understanding of what we need to do to open this wall up or add this. And then same thing with Mechanicals are the big things where you don't know exactly what's going to be in a wall if you're removing something in a kitchen, but we can always take our best educated guesses.
Right.
And bringing those more experienced trades into that realm, they know exactly what they're looking for. I'm just kind of a jack of all, master of none, where I know a little bit about everything. They specifically know what they need to do, and that's why I bring them to that process.
And I think that brings up a good point. So it is a very long process, just to be sure that the job does go as successful as it can be. So you may meet Kevin over the phone. You may have 3 or 4 design meetings or appointments to really get to it. So it's important to take that time, even, to set the job up as successfully as it can be. And inviting those trades in, plumbers, electricians, carpenters. You work with architects to make sure everything is to code and things like that.
Yeah, and I bring, we leverage our lumber sale, or the lumber companies that we work with. They have a lot of teams or people on staff that do a lot of the things that they're always asking me, do I need to go hire an architect? My recommendation would be no, because they're not going to help you on your budget. They're just going to draw it.
Right. And anybody can draw anything,
Exactly, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We can always make something happen, whether it's economically smart or.
They can make it look good on paper.
Right.
That's all well and fine. But is it following your budget? That's why I talk with customers frequently and very openly about what their budget is. It's not because I want to know what I can go to. It's because I want to know what you're comfortable spending. You can tell me whatever you want as far as a budget, and I'm going to try and give you part of that wish list, or as much of that on that wish list that you want, versus just taking everything that you want, throwing it on there and saying, oh, well, this is way more than what I can afford. So it's more of just trying to work through and find that middle ground that's going to work best for you. What investment do you truly want to make? Mm-hmm. So I get some people that are very weary about telling me what their budget is, but it's important. It's important for me on a design. It's important for me to understand what trades I need to use, or what things that I would maybe suggest homeowners do themselves, because we do that as well. Do they want to take on the demo? Do they want to take on painting? Do they have a cousin that's an electrician? So those are things that are important, because it helps bring their project full circle, versus just taking your order and spitting it out on a contract, because that's pretty easy.
That's the value of the design build and the relationship within that design build company. The budget number, I agree with, is probably one of the most important starting points. We need to know that. Don't hide behind the fact that, yes, the company is going to make money. Mm-hmm. Nobody has a problem with that, right?
Yeah.
But we really want to find, we want to get the most value out of that budget.
Yeah.
So knowing it helps us to do that. Really, we'll make our profits and stuff, but we'll get you the best value for that dollar that's spent. So tell us a little bit about the software you use, actually, the design software, and what that looks like and how that benefits, the customer.
Yep. So I use a program called Chief Architect. It's a design software that helps me with floor plans. It also has 3D rendering capabilities. So versus just elevations that you'll see from a CAD. A lot of engineers, architects, and home builders use CAD. And it's very efficient for what their purposes are. It's a little better with Chief on the remodeling side, because I can show you what you have, and I can design things using the software. There's a lot of capabilities. There's a lot of catalogs. So I can make it look pretty much like you...
Like putting in furniture.
Yep, putting in furniture. So I can make it look exactly how it is based off of a picture, and then create the floor plan changes that we're doing, and then you can see that 3D rendering. So you do get that whole, I always call it the Joanna Gaines experience, when she's showing this is what we're doing. This is the plan. Here's the before and the after in the design software, and it's all quick and moving things. But in a sense, I do provide that experience for homeowners, and it's very helpful because so many people are completely visual learners, and they need to. I need to see it. What is it going to look like?
I need to see it. I'm gonna see it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see it. I'm also like touch it or something.
So it's hard.
I'm a see it guy too. Even
and
though I'm in the business, I still need to see it.
Yeah. And I'm in the business too, so I see things differently because I've been doing it for so long. I can just visually kind of do that in my head. And I always have to remind myself when I'm working with customers that this is probably the first time they've ever done anything to their home. So
we need to 500. This is their first time.
So to transform that and give them that render really helps them visualize, oh, okay, this is what it's going to really look like when we open up this wall or add this sunroom or whatever we're doing. So
the CrossFit room.
The workout room. You know, they don't have as many workout pieces of equipment in there. So when I'm doing workout rooms for basements, it's not as
like kettlebells.
It doesn't look
you can't like throw a kettlebell in
that. I need to.
I was thinking, what is your favorite type of remodel room? But I kind of already know the answer.
It's definitely a CrossFit gym. Yeah, inside the home.
It's not.
So Kevin, what happens?
Just busting you on that. Sorry.
What happens if a homeowner comes to us and they already have a design? How would you navigate that? Because there are homeowners out there that, maybe even years ago they got someone involved and really had an idea for their kitchen, maybe didn't do it, but still have this plan on hand. Yeah,
so I can easily work with customers like that because they have a better vision of where they want to go. I don't have to try and pull that out of them. So then it is kind of more of, okay, this is your wish list of this is what you're doing. Now let's get a price that works in your budget. So that's where now we're more talking money more than anything, or your budget.
The ideas are already generated.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So because the ideas of what they have is already there, they don't really need me to help design. So I have no problem helping customers do that. I just might see a couple of things and suggest some things of what they've done with that design. But yeah, I can certainly help customers that are doing that. And if that's what they truly need to get through that project, we're open to it. So it's not going to bother me that I, in a sense, have to do less work.
Didn't do the original design.
Yeah.
I get asked this question a lot from clients, customers. It is still around budget. Mm-hmm. Give us a range. I know it's hard because there's so many details when it comes to remodeling, but what's the range of a master bathroom or a kitchen or a basement? Just generally, what are customers spending on that stuff?
Yeah, so, and this is all part of that initial phone conversation. So if someone is looking to do a kitchen, it really is going to vary depending on their size. But I would say most kitchens are going to be starting at that 45, 50 range and going up from there. Mm-hmm. I don't like to tell you what, hey, it's going to be, it's going to be 50 to 60 because it really usually never is. But I like to tell people this is where you start, and it can always climb from there because there's so many aspects that are going to change and move the budget and the work and the design. Mm-hmm. Kitchens, notoriously, there's a lot of flooring. I mean, just in this house alone, the flooring goes all on the first floor. Mm-hmm. So are we doing that as well? That's something that most people probably haven't thought about. Bathrooms, I would say you're probably starting in that 25 range, going up from there, and that might just be a simple hall bathroom where we're cosmetically changing what's there. Master bathrooms are going to be starting in that 35-40 range. All depends on size. Mm-hmm. And then you have basements. I like to tell people that they're usually in the $80 to $100 a square foot range, going up from there, what you're all putting in there.
Sure.
Additions really depend on what style or what type of addition that you're putting on, but I would like to tell people that they're usually starting in that $300 to $400 a square foot range.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're putting on a 400 square foot addition, you're looking at a pretty sizable investment for your home.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Excellent.
So I was gonna say,
The video's fine.
no.
She
So
edits
do
it
you
all
want to
anyways.
talk about maybe like how the process works, how our design retainer works, like any of that, or?
I don't know. We can just answer keep going with
Yeah,
answering
right.
the questions. How am I doing?
You're doing great.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're doing
it's very
absolutely
good.
great. Yeah. This was a good question.
Oh yeah. What? Okay, I'll ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin.
This beauty is she just edits it all.
I know.
out.
Yeah,
It's
she
so
can just-
seamless. Yeah.
It's all good.
Okay, so what are your top pieces of advice for someone considering to undergo a home remodel?
Biggest piece of advice I would say is you do need to be patient. Be patient because the process is going to take longer than what you might have thought. The cost is more than likely going to be more than what you thought. So especially if this is your first time going through it, it's something you haven't done before. So just be open-minded, be patient.
Well, like you mentioned earlier, that first day of demo is so exciting
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, first day of vacation or something, you know, it's
Yep.
like about to embark on that big, huge journey. But then I've been through a lot of remodels myself too, and it gets messy. You can find drywall dust
There are
in places
and
that
there's
you
lulls
didn't
in
think, and
production.
then there could be lulls where
Yeah.
maybe no one's there for 3 or 4 days, and so that can feel very draining, very mentally taxing, very much like, is this ever going to get done? So
Yeah.
like you said, if you know going into it to be patient, and it is a process, and there's going to be these peaks and valleys of excitement, that's very realistic. And I think every homeowner, everybody that I've ever talked to that has done a remodel is like, oh, this is more than I thought it would be, right? The process is a lot more than anything you would have anticipated.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when you try to set up expectations and under, it's just the reality is when it's always just more because you're living in it, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Especially something like a kitchen. Like what would be your advice for someone that's
Right.
remodeling their kitchen? Because you
Move
need
out.
that every day.
Go on vacation.
go on
Yeah.
vacation. That really not bad.
No,
advice.
I would say, bathroom remodels, especially if you have another bathroom in the house, they're generally pretty easy. You're looking at, a month, maybe 2, that you're dealing with contractors coming and going and making your project or turning your bathroom into what you need it to be. Kitchens are so difficult because they are just the heartbeat of your home, and you're always in it. I mean, if you want to really know how much you're going to lose, just count how many times you're in your kitchen
Just
in
take
a
a
day.
tally. Oh, went
Yeah,
to the kitchen.
just,
Went to the
just
kitchen.
for one day,
Sure.
and then multiply
That's a
that
good-
by
that's a good tip.
by a week and then a month. You're in there so much, and it's always, most of the time it's in the middle of your home, so you're always flowing through it. So walking around it, it's difficult. Best piece of advice I can give for kitchen remodels is try and find a contractor and have a contract in January, February, or March, so that you can start that construction when the season breaks and it's nice outside and you can grill.
Oh, that's a good tip. Grilling,
Otherwise, you're eating out for, if you're going to start it in the winter, you're eating out for months. And
That's a great
it's gonna
tip.
suck.
That is a good tip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or set up like a little
So
hot plate
people
somewhere.
always think like, oh, springtime, oh, we want to get our kitchen going. I hate to say it, you kind of miss the boat because now we might be starting in fall. You can still do those things where you're grilling in the garage, but you're gonna wear a coat, and then you can't sit outside and enjoy it. But
Sure.
it can force you to be outside and have those meals outside versus having to drive to Culver's or McDonald's every day,
Yeah.
or set up a microwave in the
You also
garage.
need then to budget that
Yes,
part of
exactly.
the kitchen
Well, that's-
remodel.
yeah, that's-
I mean, honestly.
That
yeah.
is a thing, especially in the way prices of food are today. So I would say also the other thing is be patient in the sales process and the design process. I know I've kind of talked about it already, but the more time you spend on your design and understanding your selections and allowing your trades to look at your project and really have no we'll figure that out later type of items, the more streamlined your process is going to be.
Yeah.
And the quicker we're going to be able to be in and out of your home. So this is not HGTV where it's a 42-minute episode and that happens in 2 weeks.
Right.
You also have to really trust the contractor that you're working with, because they're going to be potentially in your house, and you're going to be kind of, in a sense, in a relationship with them for 3 to 6 months. When I'm talking to customers and they ask me how long this whole thing takes, I try and be realistic and set a good expectation for them. I say, we're going to be together for about a year. Not something smaller like a bathroom or maybe even a kitchen, but if they're looking at a large remodel where they're doing multiple bathrooms in their kitchen or their basement or an addition, I tell people a year because that's how long the process takes, and then the construction. And if we're done in 9 months, then they're happy with what I've first initially told them, versus me saying, yeah, we'll get done by 8 months, and then we're still there at month 9 and 10. And then they're just sick of us and they want us to leave.
Yeah.
Also, it's not HGTV. The final product is not as climatic or cinematic as
The reveal day.
The TV episode likes to show, unless you take a vacation the last 2 weeks.
Sure. Yeah,
then you come back and you might actually
living
see
in
the whole
it.
thing.
Yeah.
So, it's not, you don't get that great before and after. So understand that that's not going to, don't have that expectation. Honestly, you might see most of it already a couple days before we're actually finally done, and you'll be happy. Yeah. But then there might also be a couple of punch list items that still have to be completed.
And that's pretty common.
Yeah.
Like just put an outlet cover on, or
some of the things that I used to watch HGTV quite a bit years ago. I stopped, but when I did, what I noticed is a lot of some of the stuff we're doing, especially from finishes, these creative ideas that carpenters were doing, but the quality of products that they were using, and just actually, we would think, well, what is that going to be like in 5 years, you know? But the HGTV thing is fast, right? Everything's fast on HGTV, and the reality is quality and fast typically don't go together. Yeah. So just by nature, just because for folks who do watch HGTV, which is a lot of people, especially when you're going to be remodeling, they kind of build a narrative of one thing, but the reality is a little bit different.
Yeah. I always like the saying, I can do 2 out of the 3. I can be fast, I can be cheap, or I can give you quality.
Yes.
So you tell me which 2 you'd like me to be.
Yeah, that's reasonable. So as far as like design, and design styles and how do you navigate that? Because there's so many different types of architects.
I was going to ask that too, or if you prefer like a homeowner to have their Pinterest board or ideas, they really like black and they want black in their home somewhere.
Yeah, so I tell customers early and often, my wife has trained me well. I've been married for 10 years now. So I follow her style. I don't think she has a real new, unique style. She likes the shanty chic, rustic farmhouse look. She likes white and grays with a hint of wood tones in there. So I've kind of adopted that as my default style. But yes, I would say the best piece of advice I can give to customers and how I help navigate that is I want them to do their own research. What style do you like? What do you gravitate towards? Are you earth tones? Are you whites and grays? Do you want to go modern? So try and have that taste, or your Pinterest page or house does a good job. Those are always helpful because I might You know, you might say, oh, I want mid-century modern. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to figure out what that is, but it's probably not going to be my taste because those aren't words that I use. So
right, but you can still build it. It's just
correct.
going to be
Yeah. So I lean heavily on other reps, other designers that we work with as part of our collaboration of our team to make sure that it does come into play of what they want. But yes, I will ask for a lot of initial research or advice or pictures from customers because I want to understand what their style is and where they want me to go.
And so much of it is very subjective.
Yeah.
You know, because it's art. I mean, there's such what's the word I'm looking for? Just part of what we do, there's so much artistic interpretation.
Yeah.
Interior, exterior, what you like, what I like, what they like, and we're just, you know, trying our best to put it together with what they like.
Yeah.
You know, because it's their house. But there's no right or
wrong.
There's
wrong.
no, yeah.
I mean,
might say
sometimes
yes,
there's a lot. We're
Yeah.
getting up against that. I've done some that are just flat out wrong.
Yeah.
But they liked it.
And that's what I would say is pick what you like best. If that's your style, stay with it. If you like a certain color, a certain material, then stay with that. Stay true to that. Everyone has an opinion. We all know the saying, but have confidence of what you're picking because it's ultimately your house.
Right.
You know, you can tell me, you can ask me all you want. What do you think? Do you like this? I'm going to say if you like it, then I like it because I'm helping you with the service of it.
Yeah.
I'm not living there. I don't need to I'm not seeing it every day.
Right.
I'm going to see it 4 or 5 times. And then I'm going to move on to the next project. If my wife asks me if I like it, then I will give a stronger opinion because I'm going to see it every day. But no, I would say at the end of the day, find either the trusted advisor that you're going to really take the opinions of. If you don't have that confidence and you need that second opinion, there are interior designers out there that I know that I can make suggestions for or make recommendations or build that relationship if customers need it. Otherwise, I say just go with your gut, go with your instinct. You can look at these products for hours. Ultimately, you're probably going to pick the one that you first gravitated towards first anyways. And the other piece of advice,
True.
yeah. The other thing that I can tell customers with confidence is you're going to forget all the other options once it's finally in. You're never going to remember it.
Yes.
That's so true.
Unless you pick it and hate it.
Well, and that can happen.
Over
Yeah.
Because it did happen. No, it happened.
Well, that happened with me on
mine.
art. Yeah.
I don't hate it, but it was like, oh, I probably would have done something a little bit different.
Yeah.
On a couple of things, but it's okay.
Well, and we did that with our house too. So we had a new construction house. We got to pick all the finishes. It was rather easy for us. It was easy for my wife because she knows the style of what she wants and likes, and I'm easy because I'm going to let her make those decisions. Yeah. But there are things, you know, we worked together with trying to pick out colors. We had our front door color picked out. We changed it within 6 months because I couldn't stand it. Mm-hmm. And after looking at it, I mean, so you're going to have remorse ultimately, but at the end of the day, you're still going to have to find another option if you don't like it.
Yeah.
But I would say have confidence in what you like and stick with your gut.
Yeah. I think that's great advice. And I also think this was a very good episode.
A wonderful
a
episode.
lot of helpful stuff with Kevin.
So
I mean, it's a very popular subject, remodeling is.
Yeah, and a lot of people want to do remodels.
Yes, you
I
know,
mean,
because we're a roofing company, everybody knows that. But nobody gets excited about their roof. I've been selling roofs, and it's just something you have to do. And 1 out of 100 people are genuinely excited about their new roof. But everybody loves a kitchen. You know?
Yeah, brand new kitchen.
Everybody
brand new
loves a
bathroom,
bathroom,
They
their
do.
bathroom, right? So you get the happy people. I get grumpy
I get it.
people
Yeah.
that need to do roofs.
That's why I let you stay on the outside.
I
I'll
know,
work
thank
on the inside.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for tuning in again for the Big Fish podcast.
And if Kevin wants to share how you can reach, you can always call
Oh,
the
yeah.
office, 262-470-1114, and I'll get you in touch with Kevin. But Kevin, you can also provide your direct number and email.
Yeah, so my number is 262-289-8737, and my email is kevin@bigfishcontracting.com. And I'll be happy to help and reach out and help you with whatever you're looking for.
Awesome. Thanks
Thanks,
guys for
y'all.
listening.